Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Look, if you live in Illinois, you already know the harsh reality of our winters. We're talking bone-chilling temperatures, howling winds, and weeks where the thermometer barely even climbs above freezing. Your home is your sanctuary against all that cold. But the unsung hero keeping that sanctuary warm? Well, that's your HVAC system. So today, we're breaking down the absolutely essential fall HVAC tune-up, using some fantastic guidance from smart housing systems. We're going to transform what usually feels like a chore into a really clear roadmap to prep your home, save you some serious cash, and most importantly, keep you and your family safe.
Okay, let's dive into this. There's this classic cautionary tale in the HVAC world, and it usually goes something like this. Problems are almost always discovered right after temperatures dip and that very first heating call fails. Most homeowners just don't think about their heating system until that first frosty night in late fall, right? You go to bump up the thermostat, you wait for that comforting rush of warm air, and nothing happens. Or worse, it kicks on with a terrifying clunk and just blows cold air. No way. By waiting until the system completely fails, you're looking at a huge wait time for a technician and premium top-dollar emergency repair costs. The entire point of this explainer is to make sure you do not wake up freezing.
To get us prepared, we're going to follow a simple winter survival checklist today. 1. The winter threat. 2. Basic safety and airflow. 3. When to actually call the professionals. And 4. Thermostats and final steps. All right, moving right into section 1, the winter threat and avoiding those dreaded emergency repairs. So what does a pre-winter tune-up actually do for you? Well, there are 3 massive benefits here. First, just like we talked about, you drastically reduce the odds of an emergency repair right when you desperately need the heat the most. Second, a tuned system runs so much more efficiently. That means it literally uses less energy to heat your home, which is going to keep your monthly utility bills in check. And third, a clean, well-maintained system supports much healthier indoor air. Think about it. You're going to be sealed up inside your house for months. You definitely don't want to be breathing in dust and allergens that have just been sitting dormant in your system all summer long. Let's jump to section 2, basic safety and airflow, also known as the homeowner's domain. Now, what's really interesting here is how much power you actually have to protect your home. This is the stuff you can literally do yourself this weekend. First up, start by confirming your thermostat is set properly and verifying the system can actually start and stop safely. Next, just take a walk around your house. Are your vents and return grills blocked by a new rug, the sofa, or maybe some storage boxes? If so, unblock them. But step 3, this is the absolutely non-negotiable one, check your carbon monoxide detectors. Make sure they are actually functioning. When your heating system is running hard during those freezing cold months, the risk of combustion issues rises. A working CO alarm is your ultimate safety net. Finally, just give your furnace or air handler a quick visual check for any obvious wear, damage, or weird corrosion. Okay, we absolutely have to talk about airflow. The source material emphasizes that airflow is pretty much the single biggest factor in your HVAC system's overall performance. It dictates everything. If your airflow is compromised, the system is working twice as hard just to push air through the house. You know how sometimes one room in a house is always freezing while the rest are perfectly warm? Well, that uneven temperature is usually a dead giveaway for duct airflow issues, leaks, or maybe a blotched damper. The absolute easiest way to protect that airflow is your basic air filter. You've got to replace it, and you need to use the exact correct size and rating specified by your system's manufacturer. So the crucial point is this. If you have pets, if someone in your family suffers from allergies, or even if you've recently had some construction done in your home, you need to seriously consider upgrading to a higher efficiency filter. But here's the catch. Higher efficiency filters capture way more particles, which means they clog up faster. You have to plan for more frequent changes to keep that airflow strong. Now, if you have a heat pump or a central air system, please don't forget the outdoor unit. Fall means falling leaves, right? Go out there and clear those leaves, grass clippings, and any other debris away from the base of the outdoor condenser. You want to ensure airflow is completely clear on all sides. But, and hear this loud and clear, put down the pressure washer. I know, it's super satisfying to use, but high pressure water will literally bend the delicate fins and destroy the system. Always stick to the manufacturer's guidance for cleaning. That brings us to section 3, when to call professionals. We are officially entering the danger zone. And this brilliantly illustrates the divide. We're shifting gears right now from homeowner empowerment to a very strict warning. There's a hard boundary here. On one side, you have your DIY maintenance, clearing leaves, swapping out air filters, testing your CO alarms. Fantastic, highly encouraged. But on the other side, that's professional maintenance. We're talking combustion testing, measuring live voltage, checking refrigerant levels. Do not cross this line. Tinkering with these components without a license isn't just a little tricky. It can put your safety, your home, and frankly, your life at severe risk. Let's look a bit closer at what a pro actually does when they open up a gas furnace. Their attention to combustion and venting is absolutely critical. A professional technician is going to inspect the ignition system, check the condition of the burners, verify that all vent connections are totally secure, and ensure there is a proper draft. Why does all this matter? Because these checks prevent incomplete combustion. And incomplete combustion is exactly what leads to carbon monoxide leaking into your living room or your entire system just shutting down completely on the coldest night of the year. The exact same logic applies to the electrical side of things. During a tune-up, technicians don't just glance at the wires. They're in there physically measuring the live voltage. They inspect the wiring, the contactors, and the capacitors for any signs of overheating or loose connections. They evaluate the entire control board for wear and tear. Heat creates a really heavy electrical load, and a loose connection under a heavy load, that's a fast track to burned out components or, worst case scenario, an electrical fire. This stuff requires precise tools and serious technical expertise. And then there's refrigerant. Listen, if you take away absolutely anything from this explainer today, let it be this massive warning. Leave the refrigerant to the pros. Checking refrigerant levels and hunting for leaks is absolutely not a routine DIY task. Handling refrigerant improperly is incredibly unsafe. It requires specialized EPA certifications, and trying to do it yourself can literally violate environmental regulations. Just don't do it. So you might be wondering, how do I even know if I have a refrigerant issue if I can't check it myself? Well, keep an eye out for these warning signs. If your system's performance has noticeably dropped off, if you start hearing weird hissing sounds near the unit, or get this, if you see the system literally freezing up with persistent icing on the coils. I know it sounds totally counterintuitive, but low refrigerant can actually cause the entire system to freeze into a solid block of ice. If you spot any of these signs, stop what you're doing and schedule a professional service call immediately. Let's move to Section 4 and see how this all builds together. Thermostats and final steps. The command center. You've got to physically test your thermostat. Run it through both the heating and cooling modes just to confirm that it cycles correctly. If your system is really struggling to maintain the temperature you set, or if it short cycles, which basically means it turns on, runs for just a minute, turns off, and then repeats that over and over, you've got a problem. Our source notes this could be due to a loss of sensor accuracy, bad airflow, electrical issues, or it might just be incorrect control settings on the unit itself. Now, if you have a smart thermostat, you have a distinct advantage here, but you've got to use it correctly. Confirm your scheduling is actually set for the fall and winter seasons, but more importantly, verify your humidity and fan settings. For Illinois fall and winter conditions, the goal is finding that perfect balance. You want to add just enough humidity to avoid that painfully dry, static-filled indoor air, but you absolutely must prevent excess moisture buildup, because that's exactly what leads to condensation and mold growing on your freezing cold windows. All right, let's pull it all together. Here is the ultimate winter strategy for Illinois residents. Number 1, address your airflow by changing out that filter. Number 2, confirm your safety readiness by testing every single CO detector. Number 3, keep your indoor vents and your outdoor units completely clear of debris. Number 4, schedule that professional inspection for the combustion and electrical elements we talked about. And number 5, this is the critical final step. Always ask for documentation of exactly what was checked and measured. A quality tune-up will give you tailored recommendations based on your specific system's age and history, which gives you a perfect baseline for next year. So I'll leave you with this final thought today. Will your system actually survive that first Illinois freeze? Don't wait until you're shivering under a blanket in the middle of the night to find out the answer is no. Use the roadmap we've laid out for you today. Go check that air filter right now, press the test button on your carbon monoxide detector, and get your professional tune-up on the calendar. Stay warm out there, stay safe, and thanks so much for joining us on this explainer.